Good day, friends. Tracy Brown here. I hope you're doing really well. So I wanted to make a quick video about needs, and I know that this is a really important and big issue, so we won't go into the depth of the whole issue today, but I want to talk about energy needs. I hear this, if not daily, almost every single day in my work, and I've been doing this for 13 years, and I lived it myself, is this idea of not being okay with needing what we need when it comes to like calorie intake or energy or sleep or whatever. But specifically in this video, we're going to talk about energy needs. And so I did a little experiment one time just to be able to make a point. So when my daughter was an infant, she's barely sitting up in the high chair. She was barely 1, I think, and she was doing just starting to eat solid food and still drinking milk and all that. Or I guess my milk, I decided that I would, actually it's right after she started drinking regular milk and eating some solids, I decided I would count up how much she ate in one day. And so on that day, and I'm sure it's less on some days and more on others, but she was 1, and my 1-year-old on a typical day ate about 1,000 calories a day. And so it's one of those things when my clients hear that sometimes and they think that like the amount they're eating is too much, and maybe it's like that, maybe it's more than that or whatever. But I think it's really important that we get our perspective around the reason we think sometimes we eat too much is because we're comparing it to our old standard of what the diet culture has taught us, or our old rules about what we have allowed ourselves to eat, based on deprivation, restriction, and eating less to feel less. And so I just want to put that out there to you, that a lot of times when you're feeling like that you're eating too much, the question will be, well, too much for what? And that really bumps up against our ideas about what we feel like that we can have, that we deserve to have, that feels comfortable in our bodies. And it's not necessarily based on the reality that the reality is we cannot control how much energy it takes in a day for us to thrive. Now, that can be different periods in your life. If you are at the beginning stages of recovery, regardless of your weight, and you've been restricting for any amount of time, you might need a whole bunch more than you might need in, let's say, 2 years. You can't control that. Your body needs renourishment. You got to rebuild every little brain cell, bone. I mean, there's so much to do. And on top of that, unless you're laying in a bed all day, every day, and not doing anything, which you need a lot of fuel for that too. But especially those of you watching that are still trying to do life and renourish your bodies, you're going to need a lot of fuel. And I know that's hard to accept, because that means we're breaking the rules. You're breaking your old diet rules for either trying to keep your weight lower or having a hard time yielding to what you need for all kinds of good reasons. And this goes really much more deeply into like diet culture stuff. But let's just keep on the diet culture level for a second, is that we're taught that like, you shouldn't need, you don't need what you need, because you can do all these tricks to act as if you don't need what you need. You can distract yourself, you can use other substances. I'm not going to talk about the specifics here, but you all know what I'm talking about, is that you can do a lot of things to try to ignore and suppress what you need. And you might tell me, look, I don't feel hunger. Well, that means that the hunger's gone underground, and we have to work with that. And the only way we can do that is obviously to eat more. Now, let's say you're somebody like, well, I eat plenty, Tracy. I just don't think I should need so much, because look at me. I hear that a lot. You know what I'm going to say to that, right? Is that regardless of what your body size and shape is, you can't magically get the nutrients you need from nowhere. You have to eat. And your body needs what it needs to be fueled well. And you deserve to eat supportively. That's all there is to it. So if you're struggling with those ideas, we need to go deeper into like, well, what makes that hard to accept? And where does that come from? And you all know, if you take out your pen and paper and start doing some journaling, you're going to be able to get a little deeper into that. And then if you're struggling with, I know what it's about, I don't know how to shake it or uncouple it, then of course, please reach out to me. Let's see what we can do about that. But for the most part, it's really going to come down to using your adult healthy voice and say, well, who says I shouldn't need what I need? And being compassionate and tending to the other parts that feel like it's too much, or you don't deserve it, or what will people think, or whatever the thoughts are. It's really important to start to stay in the present with it, and then, you know, work your way that direction with a lot of containment and a lot of compassion. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if there's a part that you weren't quite clear about or I need to expand more on. I certainly will. And if this video was helpful, enjoyable, thought-provoking, please let people that you know that could benefit from it, let them know about it. So thank you so much. Make sure that if you've missed any videos, sometimes I've been putting up my throwback videos. I've been posting them here too, putting them on YouTube. So if you're not on my Tracy Brown RD YouTube channel, please do that. So, because sometimes I do lives there too that I don't put here, only because something spur of the moment will happen and I want to share it. So anyway, I'm sorry for those who are just now hopping on. I didn't put an alert. I forgot to when I was going to talk. But if you start from the beginning, you'll get what you need. And again, if you have questions, please let me know. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.